Tennessee for the special premiere. And my first person to talk to is Melinda Harper. She's a best-selling author and has a new conference coming out. So 2 questions. What are your expectations for this film tonight?
Well, one expectation is that I would learn and my son would learn all the wonderful things that W.E.B. Du Bois did, because it's one thing to read it in a book, but to see the documentary. That's why I brought my son with me as well, and my husband.
I love it. So what's next for you? Because I know you're a best-selling author. You have a conference coming up. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so me and my husband, we have something called Wives in Waiting and Husbands in Pursuit. We help people get married and, most importantly, to stay married.
That's the key.
We go to their weddings as well when they get married.
Oh my goodness. And so you have your son here for this historical moment for your family. You have a conference coming up, so just keep me posted so I can show up. Okay, so we have Bart Cole, senior producer, local content manager for PBS WKNO, and we have teacher Felicia Pete, WKNO's educator and outreach manager. So we are here for the W.E. Du Bois Rebel with a Cause that will be airing across the country on PBS. They're from PBS. So how are you feeling about this documentary? I want both of you to answer that question.
Well, it's really exciting. American Masters is a great series. Rita Coburn's a great director. She's done the Marian Anderson American Masters, the Maya Angelou, the film. Why did I just blank that? Maya Angelou, It's Still I Rise. So this is her 3rd American Masters. I'm really excited to meet her because she's a great filmmaker.
Me too. And knowing that you all have supported her documentaries through the years, and now this one being a premiere here in Memphis, Tennessee. So teacher, I just have to call you.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
What are you feeling right now?
Well, I just think it's an honor. It's an honor to be a part of this documentary. It's an honor for it to be W.E.B. Du Bois with all of the accomplishments and all of the legendary. I'm just so excited. All those accomplishments that he's done. So I think that it's important for us to bring these kind of films here to the Mid-South, not only for the adults, but for our children, because that's what I do.
Yes, and do it well.
Yes, and I just want, I'm hoping that teachers will understand how important this documentary is, and then they would also use it in our classrooms, especially middle and high school.
As a teaching tool. So Bart, let me ask you this, because we love PBS. I've been supporting PBS, my mom, and then me and my kids. So how important is that support to get this kind of documentary on PBS in this climate we're in?
It's really important. It's really important. Memphis is lucky. WKNO is lucky to have Memphis. They've always supported what we do. There are some stations in the country that are in a little bit more trouble than we are. But we have a solid base of support here, and part of that is because we can help bring films like this. I mean, it's great to have a film event, but this show is going to be on TV tomorrow for everybody to watch for free. And that's one of the important things that we do for the community, is to bring educational, great filmmaking like this into people's homes.
And I want to talk more about PBS with you in the future, because I really want to get behind that push to get funding for it, so you can continue the work that you've been doing for decades for us.
I appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you.
I'm super excited about this next group of people that I get to interview. They are actually very instrumental in bringing the W.E. Du Bois Rebel with a Cause to Memphis, Tennessee. The Reverend Whalen with the new Olivet Woodland Hill Center. First, I just want to say thank you for this.
It's a pleasure, Loretta. I'm glad to see you doing what you're doing.
This is so big for Memphis to be one of those cities to get this. And I just want us to understand how hard he works, him and his team. So thank you personally for what you're doing. Let's talk about the reason for you doing this, though.
I got involved because of my connection to, believe it or not, Morehouse College, the Glee Club. I produced an event here in Memphis with Glee Club. We brought them in and they sang We Shall Overcome. Well, Rita heard the recording of it and wanted to use it in the theatrical release, not the one we're going to see tonight. But that's how we got connected, and that's how I decided that I should just reach out and ask Rita if we could screen it here. And for it to be the night before it is screened on PBS is a beautiful thing, and the fact that it's in Memphis, it's a no-brainer.
It is a no-brainer for someone like you. Like you said, she heard it, you asked. What keeps us from getting a lot of things done is that ask. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, we are fearful. Most of us fear rejection. But unless you're somebody like me I have lost the things that people are afraid to lose. Public, I've been embarrassed in public. People have attacked me publicly. And so what I thought was the worst thing in the world that happened, and it didn't kill me. In fact, it lifted me and my wife up to a place where we have not questioned about our integrity. And so I asked him. And when I asked Anthony, Penny Hardaway, and FedEx board chairman Brad Martin, who are both my longtime friends, I said, we need some money to make this happen. Each of them said yes without question.
Wow. You heard it from him. And of course, all of us have that, right? But we let it stop us.
Absolutely.
You get hurt one time, you let it stop us. You get hurt on a job, you quit the job, you quit your marriage. We got to stop quitting.
Hurt in the church, you quit the church.
Quit the church. And then it happens again. But I just want to just recognize what you do. You don't do it because it's easy.
No, I do it because it's the right thing to do, and because if we don't do something, Loretta, to save our children, it's over.
It's over. Have to leave them something better. Because what they're going to inherit now, because of our decisions or lack thereof, it's not fair. It's not fair. But people like you and your wife and your church and your friends are doing this to make it happen. And what better film for you to be assigned to? Because you are definitely a rebel with a cause, Pastor. I think of you like that. I'm so excited to have my next guest. And no one but her can follow Pastor Whalen. And she happens to be his first lady, his boo, his everything, his partner in crime. So Sheila Whalen is our guest, and you're a part of that cohort that brings this film to us before it even airs nationally on PBS. So what were you thinking when he said this is what we're doing?
Well, my husband of 43 years, he's very creative and he keeps things going. He's never just sitting around, okay? And I'm the same way. He's busy, I'm busy. Sometimes we do our different things. We get together, combine it all. So I just, whatever he says, I'm there. It doesn't matter, whatever it is, out of town, in town, it doesn't matter. I'm with Dr. Kenneth T. Whalen Jr. Yes, been married.
No matter what.
No matter what. Been married 43 years, and he is dynamic and a very smart man.
He is very smart and very dynamic.
Yes,
and
a graduate of Morehouse College, Temple Law School. So
He has, as the children say, he has the receipts. Now, this film, W.E.B. Du Bois, Rebel with a Cause.
Yes.
You all bought this here. 5 cities were chosen, and you all fought for us in this here, in this climate. So what are you thinking about W.E.B. Du Bois and his story, and how it parallels to Memphis, Tennessee story?
It is just amazing, first of all, basically from where we all come from. We can't ever forget that. We can't forget our history at all, especially now, these days at all. He was just like my husband.
That's what I told him. So you are a rebel with a cause.
He's a rebel with a cause, whatever it takes to help, as he say, our people. We love black, white people. We love everybody, but you have to love your own first. And he's like that, I'm like that, and he's made me more like that. I used to be a little quiet and shy, but being with Reverend Whalen, you can't be, okay? You cannot be. So I have to do. You see, we're together always. We're always together.
See why the other one is coming. Or
So
already in hand.
and I'm a graduate of the University of Memphis and got my master's and all of that in finance. But he is just amazing. He really is that smart. He loves doing things for the city of Memphis. He loves helping people, and he loves staying busy. So he's up early every morning on his computer.
The third movie that we have met here, you were doing screenings, I was doing screenings. Sarah's Oil. You all bought Sarah's Oil.
Yes, that was dynamic as well.
I learned a lot.
That was dynamic a lot. I mean, again, he's involved in everything to help us, all of us, help his people. You know?
It's so true.
I mean, he could be retired and relaxing and all of that, but he's a very busy man. So
and he loves Memphis, even though sometimes Memphis hasn't shown that love back. And I love how he bounces back and he keeps going.
Well, he went to Temple Law School in Philadelphia, and now he came back to Memphis to do what he does. And everybody knows Dr. Kenneth T. Whalen Jr., and I'm his biggest fan, and I do anything for him, so don't touch him.
You are a force in your own right. She's a model, an authoress, and she puts conferences together. She's a speaker. You have a new project coming up, and I love
Yes, I do.
Let's talk about that.
Yes, I'm an author. I have many books out there. Pretty Woman 2, Destiny Bell Preacher's Wife, Why Men Cheat, all kind of stuff, right? But I got a new one coming out called Angels in My Living Room. And it's because Angels in My Living Room because the house that we live in now, God led us to that house. He led me, and I told my husband, turn here, and we were in front of our house. And we're still there 23, 24 years later. And when we got there, angels around the border. angels in my living room around the border. So that's why my book is called Angels in the Living Room, because the Lord led me to this house, and we raised our kids there, who now travel all over the world doing that
I just
music
want people
thing.
to understand. She said angels around her borders. I'm visualing real angels, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
real angels. It's not like a picture of angels.
No, real angels too. But the house, the living room has angels all around the border.
Beautiful.
And people, when they come to my house, you know, it's a beautiful house. God led us there. But I had a young lady say, I had a housewarming. Oh, if I were you, though, I would take those angels down. I'm like, oh no, baby, them angels ain't coming down. I'm not gonna try to keep up with the style that way. No,
the mortgage.
Right. So no, they're still there because they've done so much. Our kids are all over the world singing and traveling.
Go, because you have more interviews to do. Because you know when we get together, it's always a film
Good to see you, and thank you so much. Everything was so beautiful. I appreciate it.
We're gonna do more of this.
Absolutely.
So this young lady needs no introduction at all. But I got to tell you something. You've seen her on TV every day for years and years. And I know a lot about her because she's one of my dear friends. And one of the best to do the anchoring job. I wanted to be like her when I grew up. Everybody, Kim Clark. Hi. So we're here at the beautiful Malco, Forest Hill, for the W.E.B. Du Bois, Rebel with a Cause documentary. That's airing on PBS, so we're first to see it. So,
right.
What did you say? How did you feel when you got the call to come do this?
I was rather honored. I was very honored. First of all, because I knew nothing about it until Reverend Whalum called me and said, "This is happening. You need to be a part of it." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So here I am.
Wow, because his story is so phenomenal. I can't wait to see. And it's been told before, but Rita has a way of bringing channeling the person with her documentaries. I've seen a couple that she's done. They've been on PBS. So the fact that Memphis has it first,
I know,
one of the few cities to have this premiere tonight. So does that make you feel real good about Memphis today?
Yeah, it does. I feel good about Memphis all the time anyway. All day, every day. Hello, yeah. But it's like Reverend Whalum said, it's only appropriate because Memphis is, we're not really the cradle of the civil rights movement, but we're a big part of it. We're I think we're probably one of the heartbeats of the civil rights movement. So,
right?
Yes,
they knew we had power here.
Yes, and W.E.B. Du Bois. I mean, he and my idol Ida B. Wells.
Yes.
Worked together and to create the NAACP. So I mean,
one of the most influential scholars of our time and the time before us, and we'll talk about him more, but if you don't know him, this is a good opportunity to use that AI to find out who he is.
Exactly.
And to know why we're super excited that Memphis was one of the few cities to be chosen for this premiere. Kim Clark, let's do this again soon.
Okay, please.
All right, so I told you this, we're going to keep getting better, right? So I have the honor of talking to Chief of Police, Miss CJ. So we're going to tell you who she is, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about this documentary, W.E.B. Du Bois, Rebel with a Cause, on PBS, but we have a special private premiere. How did you get here? Who said come here tonight?
Someone, actually Pastor Whalum, Kenneth Whalum sent me a text, and he always keeps us informed of what's going on. And we drop by the church from time to time, but I've always been a history buff, and coming out of the city of Atlanta, home of the civil rights movement, I was always very, very in tune and astute to those individuals that made such a difference in African American communities. So Black history is something that when I see it, I want more of it. And W.E.B. Du Bois, even though we learned about him, his life was sort of glossed over a little bit, in some academic settings. So this was an opportunity for me to really see a documentary that would share more about his legacy.
Right, and Rita, the one who put this documentary together, Conqueror, she will get to the unglossing of it, I'm sure, and to really lay it out where he is endeared to us, and we learn about him so much that we actually go do more research. Because I think we've stopped talking about those who made history, or either, like you said, we glossed over it. So being in Memphis, Tennessee, and then having this project here with the phenomenal Whalums, making it possible with Kenny Honaway and Rita Carmen, who's the director. How do you feel? Does it give you a little more pride, make us sit up straighter when we know, say, Memphis, with all we know what's going on?
But even with all this going on, I never lose touch about those individuals who came before us. Because if it weren't for them, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have opportunities to even be celebrating in a theater like this, or being in positions of leadership to try to impact change. So it's exciting, and I'm glad to see that Memphis is doing it. Memphis has such a storied history, and I'd love to see more of this.
Me too. And being headquartered here and then seeing around the country and the world literally, I love sharing Memphis stories.
Yes.
Right, because I know what happens, and a lot of it is true, but we fail to really do this kind of storytelling.
That's right.
And
the good stories.
Yeah, we need more of this storytelling. I've been doing it for 20 years, and so I'm super excited to have all this excellence in this room at one time, and then having you here too.
Thank you. I'm honored. I'm honored to be here, and I'm just looking forward to being a citizen tonight and really enjoying the show.
Out on the town, as they
That's
say.
right. Out on the town.
She does go out on the town, as you can see here.
Hey, without the bun.
See, that's why I didn't recognize you. He was telling me, and I'm like, oh, because when I saw she had the bun and she was in uniform. So she does have a life. She is a real person.
I'm a real
not just a superhero by day. She's a beauty diva at night.
Thank you. You're so sweet.
All right, we got more coming up. Don't go too far. We'll be right back in just a minute. All right, so next we're going to talk to Dr. Warren Harper Jr. He's a clinical psychologist and very well informed on the political scene as well, with all this historical information. I just want to know, how are you feeling about W.E. Du Bois, Rebel with a Cause?
Well, you know, the bottom line is that in order to really be understood today's society, you have to basically be a rebel. You know, being a conservative or basically sitting still and letting things just happen results in what we're seeing right now politically. So you have to rebel against that system, and you can do it either physically, but that's not the right way to do it. You can do it education-wise. If we can educate people strong enough whereby they see the threat that's coming towards us, then we can expect that they'll behave properly. But they have to have that information first.
So what do you say when people say, well, I don't have a degree, I'm not in corporate America, I throw boxes at FedEx or UPS, how can I make a difference?
Well, see, the sad part about W.E.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington's debate was the fact that it appeared as if W.E.B. Du Bois did not really want to have a class of people that were only doing industrial kind of work, kind of the labor. If you read some of his writings, he basically thought that both needed to occur. That you needed to have the farmer, but the farmer needed to have the technical, the college-educated background to deal with banking and deal with organization and deal with things like that, because just farming alone was not going to take us anywhere. Plus, there was the mentality associated with people who did that kind of work, which is a negative mentality, which is not to criticize people now. But the bottom line is that if that's where Booker T. Washington wanted us to be, we would not be where we are now. We had to have leaders.
This is not about status. It's about the steps that all of us take to move that ball across that field goal or goal line or whatever it is. But I just want people to feel like it is also your job and responsibility to vote, to get involved, to write a check. So how do we go from where we are today, doing less than what people had less and did more of, to doing more?
Again, we have to ask ourselves, what are we doing here tonight? What we're doing here tonight is basically saying that we are in protest. We are in protest of what has happened before, of what is going on right now. We're in protest over the fact that someone is destroying the Civil Rights Act and the voting rights that we have been working so hard to achieve. This is the second Civil Rights Bill that's been passed. The first one was passed in 1886, I think. And less than 100 years, however, we've kept that. Well, we've been struggling again to maintain that, and now all of a sudden we find that those rights are being taken from us. So we have to be in places like this so we can educate ourselves. Then we have to take that out to our churches and our community groups and start educating those people too, and make sure that everyone gets signed up to vote. We've got to have that.
Absolutely. So after having watched the documentary tonight, what are you hoping we take away, and not just take away and talk about it in our own little pods around our dinner table or in meetings? What do you want us to do? And also, protest is not always, it's more than one thing, right? There's several ways to protest, because I think some people have a negative connotation about it. So how can we reel them in to get them to protest in their own way?
Well, first we have to be educated as to what are some of the ways to protest. Some people protest through writing.
Right.
Some people protest through singing. Some protest even through the art of dancing. Others protest through coming out to events like this. Others protest behind getting in the streets and basically holding up signs or even developing and making signs. You don't have to always be the person that's doing all the action, but you have to be part of the action.
Absolutely. That's the point I wanted you to make, and you made it so well, because you can get involved and you must get involved at this point. So thank you, Dr. Harper. What a pleasure to meet you and have this short little conversation with you.
Thank you.
You definitely have a brilliant mind.
All right.
So I'm here with Judge Patrick Dandridge, and he's here to see the documentary by Rita Cogburn here in Germantown, Forest Hill, Irene Malco, as a part of the whole glamour excellence things we're doing here in Memphis, Tennessee. And yes, this is what we do in Memphis as well. So, Judge, thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
So, having heard about Memphis being one of the cities that received this permission and all this accolade to host the private premiere a day before it goes live all across the country on PBS, how did you feel about that?
Pretty good. That's pretty good. And I think Memphis is pivotal in those kind of civil rights efforts that were that happened here, and then the tragedy that also happened here. So I think it was great to launch it in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay, so in the climate we're in, and being a judge too, so are you like standing a little taller knowing that we got this documentary here?
Well, Memphis could use some positive publicity,
Absolutely.
and I think it's great for us to be as a constant reminder that the civil rights movement is never done.
Never.
Like we always constantly have to continue to move forward and protect and not be surprised. Really, maybe it's a reminder that we should never be surprised or take anything for granted.
So are you already gonna watch it tonight, and then are you gonna watch it when it airs on PBS too tomorrow?
Absolutely. Now I would have watched it when it aired anyway, so this is just an extra for me. I'm a history buff.
Okay.
I'm constantly. I actually believe in our Constitution. I believe in right, and even Martin Luther King talked about somewhere I read. So it's a constant reminder for us to fight for what is right, and that's what I do every day. So this is a beautiful thing, and I'm glad I have the opportunity.
This is just another layer of fighting for what's right on TV and the documentary and in Germantown here with Judge Patrick Dandridge. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Stan Bell, the bell ringer, one of the best in talk radio and DJing in our city, in our state, and I will say across the country. Welcome.
Oh, bless you, bless you.
Welcome.
Good to be here.
You've been doing this consistently for a long time. Look at that. I love him. I love him. And you're a household name.
Oh, bless you.
And now we're talking about W.E.B. Du Bois, the Rebel with a Cause documentary here in our hometown, the town we love. What is that, Memphis 3 down?
Town, yeah, that's right.
How do you feel about this documentary on one of the most amazing scholars that this world is ever going to see at the level he played at, W.E.B. Du Bois, the Rebel with a Cause? How do you feel about that being in Memphis?
I think it's a great opportunity. Matter of fact, it's a grand opportunity, Loretta, to have work of this magnitude being shown in Memphis, Tennessee. I hope everybody sees it, especially all Memphis and Mid-Southerners. And I understand it may be on PBS later on,
It's
right?
going to be there tomorrow, all over the country.
So I think, oh, wow, it's great to be at the premiere there. So this is vitally important for young people, middle-aged, and seasoned folks. Who can still repeat the history and see it and how it's going to be laid out. I'm just anticipating a great film.
Yeah, because to them, they may think we forgot, right? Because we got stagnant, we got lost along the way, or at least those stories weren't being told. I don't think we got lost. I just think we haven't done a great job of storytelling. And so with what you do every day and what I do, you do on radio and in schools, I do on TV and all over the country. Memphis is a great city. I don't care.
Absolutely.
We are no different from any other city with crime problems, all of them, but we got to share our good stuff too. I think now that's where we dropped the ball. Would you agree?
I agree. We are building momentum in this city. It is my city, the 901. I've been here all my life. I've traveled different places, but I've always been directed to come back home because I think I've got a job to do and a responsibility, actually.
A responsibility.
The shoulders that I stand on. For instance, you talk about history. Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois, the talented tech. Dr. Martin Luther King. Even let's bring it closer to home. Professor Nat D. Williams. Was the first radio announcer in the United States at a black formatted station, which happened to be in Memphis, WDI. So we have a lot to be proud of here in Memphis. And feels like this bring out the best in us.
Absolutely. And Rita did a fabulous job. I got a chance to talk to her and got her vision and what she wanted to happen afterwards and why it was so important to her.
Yes.
So I just want to say, Memphis, be proud.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get stuck on one thing when there are 99 other amazing things about this city. And the bell ringer gonna do his part to make sure the world knows you do your part too, and I got mine. We'll be right back.
That's right.
So let the drums roll, let the band start playing, because she is here, the Rita Cogburn. She is the director of this film. W.E. Du Bois, Rebel with a Cause, and what a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you for having
seriously,
me.
what a pleasure.
Thank you.
I followed your work, but I want to talk about this film today. So what was your inspiration for saying, it's time, I want to do it this way?
It was Maya Angelou. I worked with her, and she was a bit disappointed that I didn't know enough about Du Bois. And I started to read about him. And when I had the opportunity to do another documentary for American Masters and saw W.E.B. Du Bois was being contemplated but didn't have a director, I thought, this is my chance to learn as well as teach everybody else, because that's what documentaries do. They entertain, but they also really give us our history and a portion of our truth.
Right, the best documentaries do both of those. Some do one or the other,
Yes.
but I've followed your work and I know you do both. You're very consistent with making sure you're entertaining us, but you're also educating us, which is super important. That's what a documentary does. So in telling a story, did you decide I'm not glossing over it? How was your process to get your version of him to us?
I'm going to say this. As a documentarian, you start at a point of failure. The man lived for 95 years, and I have an hour and 52 minutes. So I'm not going to be able to do the justice that I can. So what I have to do is look at every life as being divine and comb through it and just keep going and see what I feel and what I hear to bring his humanity out. And what I don't want to do is gloss over an icon, because all of us walk into the room with all our good and all our bad.
Yes.
And at some point, we just want to be known. And I think that if you get the opportunity to do a documentary, you try your best to show the whole person, so that people understand that he was just like any one of us. If we had had his opportunity for education at the time that he had, we might have 10,000 Du Boises
By now.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that you said that, because it's so important. If we can see it, we can be it kind of philosophy. And you do that in all your documentaries. So to have Memphis, what was it that you said, let's take it to Memphis the night before it premieres all over the country on PBS?
Well, Reverend Dr. Whalum came to me in many different ways. The first was I needed a place to start the documentary, and I needed music. And I needed music from the March on Washington when I heard it. And of course, we think about We Shall Overcome. But I wanted it in a different way, and I was looking for it. And I found his arrangement of the Morehouse Men's Choir, and they were humming. And black people don't hum like they used to. If you had aunts, they hum. They hum in
all
the kitchen.
The time.
They
all
used
the
to
time.
hum, and I hum.
Yep.
So when I heard this, I said, that's it. Now, it started then, and it just kept coming for me. That's why I say these stories will come for you. So eventually, he said, when we were clearing the music, I wonder if she would come to Memphis. And that was before all interesting things broke out in Memphis. So the idea that I'm here at this time, to me, is another divine thing.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
The timing is so perfect. I was kind of alluding to that earlier when I was talking to Pastor Whalum and Sheila Whalum, that it's like an Esther story, Queen Esther. For such a time as this, Ms. Rita,
Absolutely.
your story
Absolutely.
here in Memphis is
Yes.
not coincidental at all.
It's not at all.
It has purpose, and it's going to do the work it was intended to do. So I just want to say thank you. I can keep talking, but I know you have other stuff to
but
do.
I love it. I love it. It is for just a time as this, and we're building the wall back.
Yes.
We may have to have
Brick
a
by
weapon in
brick.
one hand
Yes.
and build with the
What was that,
other, but we
Nehemiah?
are building.
Yes. I know.
You know your
I know my word.
Nehemiah, Ezra, all of them, not just, but of course, Moses. But here's the thing, that's why we do Du Bois, because in February, you're going to have wonderful people
but you're going to do them over and over again. And we
Same
have to
ones.
keep bringing someone new to let
have
people know
increased
how
that catalog,
expanded
right.
the Black
Yes.
line really
It's huge.
is.
We could never, if we had enough money and enough time, we could never do a documentary justice for all of the amazing heroes and sheroes before us. And now we can add you, Rita Colvin, to that list of people to
Thank
know
you.
and to follow that is making a huge impact in our country and in our world. So I just wanted to thank you for the work you do.
Thank you
for
so
the
much.
sacrifices that you make to get this to us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I hope you'll come again.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
We'll be right back to Multi.
Thank you.